All right. Good to see you folks. Um, and I'm bummed that we've only got one more class after today. But it's been a year, a lot of ground covered, and excited to dig into this tune this evening. Georgia on my mind, by Hoagie Carmichael, and always love those songs where you think, oh, it's great. Somebody wrote this song about the state Georgia, and then at some point it occurs to you, it could be about a person. I don't know. It doesn't really tell you, and kind of the brilliance of that. Um, Personifying a state or, kind of making a person named Georgia kind of legendary. Um, Before we get going, I always like to hear from you and see if we have any questions, comments, conundrums.
Uh, uh,
Yeah.
my comment is that it's tricky.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
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 And I guess there were a couple things, and I know you'll get into all this, but it seems like really being real intentional with your fretting hand, fingering, and when we get to it, some advice on sticking the landing on a slide. And then there's one little thing
Okay.
that is funky, and I don't understand what it means. Maybe it's a pull off. Yeah, that's what it is. Never mind. I understand.
Oh, okay. Yeah. 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 I know what you're talking about, and I could not agree more. And so I wish I had a great name for this. I always feel like James Hill has got like the perfect name for everything, and it seems like is either found things I've never seen before or he makes them all up. But this one is kind of all about flipping your hand between where your pinky is and what string that needs to be on, because it it's kind of a thing where there's not a lot of choices. So like there's this moment where rhythmically we have to lift and just totally change shapes, and that sticking the landing is a good way to put it, and it's very um like a gymnastics kind of thing, more so than just like playing finger yoga or anything. Yeah, well, we'll get into that. Any other questions? Are we good to go? Okay. Oh yeah, Barbara, come on down.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So here's what I found. I would be strumming, and then all of a sudden I'm like, oh no, I have to pick the next two notes. And then I could strum again, and then I'd have to pick again. And I'm like, oh my goodness.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and there's a lot of techniques kind of embedded in this, and it's also, I wanted to provide that lead sheet just to give you like an idea like how simple the melody is, and those are, the more or less kind of chords you're going to find most often written down, I think, for that. And then to be able to kind of A B that, and if I'm just looking at these first two measures, um, I've got that F major seven and this E half diminished and an A7 sharp five, just in the first two measures of the lead sheet. And then looking like, well, there's no chord here. Then it's just a part of an F, the outside strings, this B flat seven minor, or major. Yeah, it's just like B flat six and all of these partial things. So it involves some techniques in getting that going. And I'm assuming, Barbara, you're talking about the chord melody version, right? Yeah. Okay. Well, then let's dive into this, because there's a lot of detail, and I first feel like you know um, they say, you know, nobody will follow you or trust you if you don't tell the truth. So the first truth I'll tell is that if you said you need to play this song tonight at a gig, I would say, I don't think I can make it. And I've had a couple extra months head start than you guys have had. So I want to just, and I sometimes have resisted teaching from this place, but now I feel like, oh, this is probably the best place to be because I'm more attuned to each little detail and it hasn't been committed to muscle memory yet. So, here we go. They're always moving things. Here we go. In Zoom, it's like one of those things that changes every couple weeks. Okay. All right. This is a ukulele. And I want to, just talk about and play a little bit, but this is going to come up over and over again. But we've got the very first thing, this slide here. Nice little sound. If you did it kind of slow, it's almost like the intro to Son of a Preacher Man. But if we follow it with that C, so I think it would either be a first, second, and third finger thing here, or else a first, third, fourth finger, kind of depending on what you want. But I'm going to stick with the second, third finger. So I've got that. And this nice little triplet climb. And it's real common kind of blues thing of just playing this A and this F. And I think of this as, second fret, first fret, and then third fret, fourth fret, en route to the fifth fret. So, and then, so this thing I'm talking about, I would want to come back to here from there, and that first and fourth finger. And then, and already there, I'm just going to go really slow with all this, unless you want me to speed it up. But there's a lot of music right there, and I am, as you know, a huge proponent of getting the phrases to speak, and that to me is kind of the first phrase. Two words, the same one twice, Georgia, and just gives you some other ideas too of ways that you could kind of play around with this, and very different from any of the other arrangements I found out there. And so from there, it gets, so I've got that, and I just love that sound, and then I've got that, and just want to see that this is part of a B flat 7, and this is part of an A7. Now, if I played the full chord, I'd have to play completely different fingerings, but I don't need all the strings. I don't need all that. And so that little move, coming from that second Georgia. Any questions with that so far? Was that, did that make anyone's head explode or anything? All right. And so the next two notes I need are D and A. I am already on A. So I think I would want to use just this little nice little trick of just barring there, and I'm picking. Let me see if this helps. This will probably help. Using a more or less classical style for this one seems like the right way to go. So, and then this, and again, that's that, like I'm kind of up here, down here, and then following, and kind of the rule here that I don't think I could ever say enough times, really, is the last thing I want to do is like go from here, lift everything, and then start over and put this finger on the same string it was already on. So I want to take these shapes, and this is 5th fret, 3rd, 3rd, 5th, beautiful chord, but I'm following that shape down, and so the chords can kind of melt into each other. And I'll go back to the top. Triplet. And it'd be awesome if we could just stay there, but this one then is going to flip us around. And so when I say this flipping of where I'm kind of like first finger, second finger, third finger, to then like, or if I said it this way, third, second, first, and now it's first, second, third, or something like that. So I've totally changed that shape, which means I kind of have to know where I'm going. I'll take it from measure 3 again. And coming back up here to this partial B flat major 7. So this would be like the full chord, but we're just using this, and this is cool. To an E flat 7, which would be here, but I can kind of compress. And some of these really took me a while to figure out, that I could go from here to here, from first, third, and fourth finger to first, second, and fourth finger. And then also thinking how many times I've used a full chord and going like, it's kind of nice having just those 3 notes together. And so from that, it's got this E flat 9, and it could be different chords here, but I like this one. And just, so this would be the whole chord, but we're just, and then again kind of flipping back down. Which one is this? Yeah, there it is. So if I take just that 3rd, 4th, and 5th measures, so much movement. And that one's really tricky because you can really easily, as I just did there, kind of mute that chord, all ringing out, and I'm stopping it, and we've just kind of got some dead air for a second. So I want to try to get that chord shape in the air and drop it at once and hit it. And that makes that a lot easier. Or it makes it sound better. It makes it harder, but it makes it sound better. Yeah, and And then I'm in this kind of cool chord, nice sounding chord, that B flat, F, B flat, C. Um, and then I'm already there. And then I have to totally flip here. And I often put some vibrato on those augmented seventh chords. It's I don't know why. It seems like it's a magical realism or something. So this first A section, nice and slow, and I could take it as, you know, 2, 3, 4. I just got lost, sorry. And then we're into the second A section. How is that jibing so far with what you thought might be going on here? Does that seem like we're on the same page? Yeah,
There are
Virginia.
a couple spots, I think in measure like 4 and 6, maybe. I'm not sure if you're barring at the third fret, but I did. Is that all right? Like measure 4?
Let's just find out.
Oh, sorry.
I always have to kind of get into it. Interesting. I wouldn't, but I don't. I couldn't tell you why I wouldn't. I think why is because I'm changing the fingers on the top of it. And to me, this can slide more easily into each other than there's this. For me, in lifting these, the chord kind of dies, and then that comes back. And you know, I've been accused of being kind of, you know, tuned into the minutia of things.
Not you.
Um, yeah. And then, were you saying on measure 5 as well?
I think on 6.
On 6, I would bar there. Yeah, yeah. And then you get that really nice kind of almost campanella thing of these 3 notes ringing and kind of cycling 2 extra notes. Yeah. Um, any other questions? Anything there? All right. We'll look at the second day, and there's a couple of little
I have a question
differences.
before you
Oh
go
yeah,
on. It's Nancy.
yeah. Hey Nancy.
For your vibrato on those augmented chords, how are you doing that? Just doing a squeeze on there?
You know, this. So I'll tell you this. I have never seen someone teach vibrato successfully. And all anyone says, well, you just put your fingers there and then you move them, you know. And it's like, but if I got into the minutia of it, you know, you have to. I'm moving the strings back and forth. So if it were just that G sharp, you know, but doing it all as a chord. so that, you know, like if a slide guitar could play that all on one string, they could just add a little. You know, and it comes from me from playing electric guitar for so long. Electric strings, it's like you just look at them and they start vibrating. You know, you barely touch them. Where like these, you kind of have to get after it a little bit. But yeah, just pulling down and pushing up and finding some way to have that, you know, that going. And the pressure has to be constant. Yeah.
That's what I was going to say. It's if you have to keep that downward pressure and not
Yeah.
have this tendency to lift up in between.
Yeah, yeah. As soon as I let up, it's dead. Yeah.
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 Okay.
And so it's in that way, you know, your fingertips will, you know, have some marks on them. And
You're going to have
it's
to grind down in there, bear down on it.
exactly, yeah. Yeah, and
Yeah.
then it's kind of finding for your hand where that thumb needs to be. A lot of times for that kind of thing, I just find my thumb like higher than my
Oh,
fingers,
yeah.
almost
Instead of trying
using
to put it
that
right behind the fingers.
as a cantilever. So I kind of look at like there's the cantilever and the vice, you know, and you know, if you're playing real single notes and stuff, the vice is kind of the best way. If you're barring, it's kind of got to be the vice. You know, it can be kind of awkward the other way, but those are the two kind of shapes. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for that.
Yeah, sure. All right, moving on. Some of this may sound familiar because most of it is exactly the same, but a few little changes. And so I just noticed a choice I made, and this is I love it when this happens where I go, this not really conscious why I chose to play this way with these fingers. I think because then that leaves this fourth finger free to come down on this next that C that I need. So with that, whereas if I go, I've got it. It's a more awkward kind of thing. So just notice that. So. So far, the same. Very slight difference here in letting that A ring out in that B flat major 7. And now we're going to make a little change in the melody and that diminished 7 chord, so that. And that in itself is this cool little move. So I've got this. And then we'll get to the next chord there. But just want to kind of go through that a couple of times. I'm on measure 12. 1, 2, and 3, triple. And so I've got that. There's really no other way to play that. Definitely would not bar that. And then that B, F, G coming back. And then this time I really like this D13 here. A little more sophisticated. And then that D augmented. So I'll just take it from that same spot. I played the wrong. I played the old chord. and that's that pull off. And this is just straight like F major or D minor blues. That would be kind of that little blues box right there, and totally like a piano lick. So that I'm plucking both of those, the D and the G sharp, and pulling off into the G. I'll take it from, let's do this whole little section again. And I'll say this too from right here, from that, I'm gonna kind of mute the strings to just get that. Otherwise, I'm gonna get a lot of extra notes that I might not want. So if I kind of get in here a little bit, let's see where a good angle is. And that's into a D minor. Cool little walk down and some interesting little chord colors there. Yeah, so this chord too, this diminished chord, really tells you that, oh, something a little different is going to happen. And this is a little different. And it just adds such a rich feeling to that. And this tells you we did not end the first like this. So it's this little transition into the B section, and these are cool little things that like a piano player would do, just to kind of hint that this second B is going to go, or this second A section is going to go to the B section, or to somewhere we haven't been quite yet. Any questions with that? Did that answer your stuff, Virginia, on the pull off? Yeah. Cool. So now this bridge, with a decidedly minor feel. Oh, and I think this bridge lends itself to this technique better because the chords are a little more regular here, but like the other section is chords and notes and all these tripletized things. But playing just the chords can be a great way just to kind of get a sense of the outline of the song. And really that rhythm is a 1, 2, and 2, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Oh, this is such a good chord. 1, 2, and 4. 1, 2, am I right here? Oh no. 1, 2. I included that A there. So, but erroneously that. Such a nice, tidy ending to that. And so you can get the choreography, the gymnastics routine worked out for um, the chords, and then be adding. And it will have, I think, hopefully, if you practice those chords beforehand, it shows you that we're not going to go. You know, where I'm just jumping between literally what the tablature says, but like I'm going to play that D minor shape, and as kind of the pictures would indicate. Sorry. Like I said, I couldn't play this at a gig tonight, but it's good practice. You get to see me practice for a little while. So that second half. So going from that B7 sus4, this is an exceptionally cool move. I want you to see that I'm actually just realizing this pivot. So I'm not lifting a finger. I see Paul nodding there. And so I'm not lifting. I'm in this parallel position. And then, so I don't want to do this and that. Does that make sense to folks? Could anyone tell me why that works? Okay, well, I'll tell you then. So the reason that works is because each finger is on the same string as the next chord. And that becomes something to really start to be aware of. And that pivoting, just even practicing that move can be really great. And sometimes people need to kind of extend their elbow just at first. But after a while, you can actually do it without your elbow. It's just a rotation here, you know, just really kind of exploring that forearm rotation. Anyway, so and this is such a great chord. That's C diminished 7, 5, 3, 2, 0. And then I'm on the same strings. So looking for those common tones and knowing that those last three chords all have B flat in the bottom. So I don't want to move that finger. And you'll find, you know, if you're not at this point already, that like moving 2 fingers is so much easier than moving 3 fingers. Moving 3 fingers is much easier than moving 4 fingers. Sometimes there's no way around it, but looking for those ways to streamline the movement. Cool. Any questions with this B section?
Yeah, Kevin, on measure 22, going from the C minor 8, 9 chord to the B7 sus4. So what's your move there?
Yeah, let's find out. So I've got this F,
Right.
and then just come into that. The main thing is that I want my weight on this finger
Okay.
because that's the common tone. Or it's already on it's the only one that's decidedly on the right string.
Yeah, okay. So that's your guide finger right there.
Yeah. And kind of, yeah, and I would look at it like the anchor finger, so it's going from there to there. And so, and then coming back. Yeah. And also, there's more to it than that, I would say, too. So that I'm in this 2 fret stretch, and as I'm moving, I'm reshaping. And so I kind of want to know where I'm going. And so my third finger, like we already, our fourth finger staying on the first string, going from D to E. We got that one. What's my third finger doing? It's changing strings. My first and second finger are changing strings, and then that one's going to take the second string, so that I have this. So that by the time I'm up 2 frets, I'm stretching into this new shape. It's almost like I'm some sort of sea anemone or something, that our hands are. I don't want to be like, I'm this chord, I'm this chord,
Right.
Yeah, so the fluidity, these are two shapes I'd never played back to back before this arrangement. So, yeah, you kind of have to get used to them. Yeah, does that help?
Yes.
Cool. Awesome. Well,
Because I wasn't using my pinky for the C minor add 9 chord. I was using my um
oh, third.
I was playing it like that.
Ah, yeah, yeah.
That was really awkward then to try to reach the
Right. Yeah.
yeah. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. And moving along, we'll come here to the last section. It's got a lot of cool stuff. But again, um, there's a little variation there. Yep. And just notice that on the and of 4 on measure 27, it's now resolving on a D minor for the ending, which really adds some depth. So have that. And I keep making this mistake because I haven't learned yet that for my hand to play this next chord, this is where I want to be. And so sometimes it's like the next chord, it's like, oh, I could play this one chord 3 different ways, but the next chord, it's going to be best. And I like playing it that way. So I'm going to try to break down measure 28 a little bit more for you. I would try to get to my first and second finger on beat 3 for that A flat and D note. And here's why. So I can make that stretch with my pinky to the B and then get back to the G. Whereas if I don't remember to do that, this is what happens. I'm trying to make that reach. It can be doable, but there's just, for my hand, there's more that can go wrong. That's an awkward shape and a long reach. So coming from here, and I could change midway, but yeah, the and then this super kind of a 50s style jazz guitar ending. Which is a nice little fancy run there. And that chord is a good one to know. And I love these really jazzy chords. If you have a bass player playing an F there, this chord has no F in it. And so it's really cool. This E, G, C, or sorry, D, G, C, E is this F major 9 chord when the F is in there. But I think we kind of experience it that way because it's just a scale. And if you can't play this fast, this is, and I'll illustrate this, I think, going through the whole thing again. But I think it can be really broken up into free time and kind of do whatever. So let me see if I can kind of put this, get some flow with this and remember what I'm supposed to do. And that sounds like jazz, yeah. I get some like, yeah. I've minimized you all, so you're very small, but I think I can see some stuff going on there. Let me bring us back into the same size. Here we go. Yeah. Any questions or anything? What would what would be some of the obstacles you would see in this for yourself?
For for
Yeah.
me, I would say just and I write all over my stuff and I like remind myself which finger and all that kind of stuff. It's just plotting out what my left hand is doing, just super intentionally and erasing when I find a better way and all that kind of thing. It helped me on this one because there were so many triplets and then the drag triplets and all that kind of stuff to pencil in the words so that I could, I find it hard to look at this and know where my melody is because there's so much in there. So
Yeah.
that was helpful to me to find the phrase of the
Yeah,
melody
yeah.
in there.
Yeah, excellent, excellent. And then, if you have like, well, here's how I play an F chord, and then go, well, what's the next chord? You may have to reconsider. And so that sometimes going backwards a little bit, reverse engineering the fingering to get, a chord that you could only play one way, or that would only be practical one way. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, anything else? Any other obstacles to I want you all to be making money on this as soon as possible. Um, and impressing people, during the holidays. Well, let me play with this idea of free time with this and rubato kind of, really rubato means borrowed time, but where I can just kind of mess around with there's a way that I could make that musical and seem intentional, and then there's a way that it could be like and so I want to connect the sounds and there's a little thing that can happen where, and it's not a little thing at all, it's a really big thing, where I'm listening and then going, when do I need to make the next sound? And then also going, well, there's some chords coming up that I can't play fast enough. Then, well, we know we're going to have to stretch them out. And I might want to look at them and go, okay, I've got my fingers right. Where I'm kind of breathing. And I'm going like, that's a cool sound. I like that sound. Let it keep going. And then carrying that into the next. Sorry. Hello. There it is. And I could kind of play with the rhythm there if I wanted to. And put a little pause in there. I love the sound of these chords here. I really wouldn't want to break that up, but that's just me. And back into our and kind of play around with that and try to get that. But I can tell you, I have a ways to go to get this memorized and um, into muscle memory. Yeah, Daryl.
Yeah, when you're doing this and you've got these pauses and you've got a feel going for that.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, in your head, do you have the lyrics going with you? Is that what creates that, or is it the sound? It's just the sound.
It's just the sound, but the sound is language. It's a
Yeah,
musical language, and so it's also my hands and this uke. So that if I picked up still my hands, different uke, I'm going to play it differently because this is
I
going to
see.
sound different.
I see. And
Um, this one
yeah,
doesn't know the song yet. Whole different thing. Yeah, this has got like more mid-range, doesn't have the sustain that the other one has, so that
yeah.
and I'm listening to it and going, as an artist, I would imagine like you're painting and going, this stroke looks really good. I'm just gonna keep, I was gonna stop it, but let's keep that one going. And like if I'm playing a gig by myself, or do whatever you want. There's no time, or you're not playing with a drum machine or a drummer or other people or a bass player. But I'm just really, you know,
Right.
going, I could just play the melody too, which is kind of cool. Yeah, but
I think
listening,
sometimes for me, if I don't kind of try to come back to the lyrics, sometime if I get off in a ditch, I'll float off into it. This really sounds good, but then when I come back and try to piece it together with something else, it's I've drifted off from where
yeah,
the lyrics took.
sure,
So,
yeah, and this is just one of those songs that we've all heard it a time or two. Yeah, but listening though, and just letting your instrument kind of tell you when the next sound is. And I have to do that with students sometimes, and I think that like in private lessons where somebody's not listening, and I was teaching somebody for years, and then I was like, "Are you hearing what you're playing?" Like, not really. Like, okay, that needs to change right now. And really listening, and because there's a way to go, oh, I wasn't supposed to do that. I made a mistake. Oh, I got to start over. Or a way of going, that sounds good. And just connecting, this is so zen, the now. Just connect this now to the next now, and stay in that space, and you can kind of play with it. And in that way, I think I've learned a lot about this, like listening to mostly jazz stuff, but you can hear it in other ways. I just heard the Beatles, Helter Skelter. Has anybody heard the original version of that? Wow, it's like, don't you want me to do, don't, don't. And yeah, the evolution of that is just crazy. And you'd hear in like, well, how could they ever hear that song any differently? But things evolve, and then some. When you're creating a song, it's like, well, there it is. Oh, that's it. But you have to just decide this is the best we can do, and this is the right tempo, this is the right feel, and whatever. But with these songs that are already established and with jazz players, it's going to sound different every night. It's going to feel different, be at a different tempo. And that's the point of it. And so maybe another way of saying this is, and I learned this too with electric guitar. And I remember Jeff Beck saying that, most of his most famous stuff came from mistakes, and that he was going for this. He thought he was going for this thing, and his hands did this, and it was completely wrong. But it made him stop and go, "What is this?" And go, "This is better than what I was going to do." And if the music went there, how do I? So you really kind of play with those sounds, but we don't make them wrong. And so there's when we're learning, we want it. Ideally, we'd get this whole thing under our fingers, and then playing it starts to happen. So there's the learning it part of it, and then the playing, and it takes a while. and a lot of people are like, well, I'd rather let's learn another song. Let's learn another song, and it's like in that way, a person could take their whole life of ukulele classes and never really play a song, but just keep learning songs. So I like to have a few of these songs that I play for 10 or 20 years. And I swear they get better and more relaxed and more connected. And I'm more, the mistakes, whether they're melody, rhythm, harmony, whatever it is, I am much looser and able to morph those, to work around them. The other thing, Jeff Beck said, this was the quote I was going for, that if you do it once, it's a mistake. If you do it twice, it's a theme. And so he was like, yep, I didn't mean to do that, but I'm going to pretend like I meant to do that and do it again and again and again and build something around that, And it's pretty brilliant because every note is capable of going anywhere. Go up, down, half step, a whole step, a minor third, major third, a fourth, flat fifth, flit, just like, so it's just this little difference that can open up people's minds. Well, I hope that wasn't too abstract.
Can I comment on that just a little bit?
Yeah.
I've started, when I have a new song that I think is going to be one of these that I play forever, I'll make a recording basically as soon as I've got it memorized, and then come back and listen to it a few months after that, and it's like, oh, that was kind of terrible. It's so much better now. So, but you kind of don't notice it. It creeps up on you.
Yeah.
So I like awesome. The recordings.
Yeah, it's so cool. And I've had the opposite happen, where like 10 years later, I accidentally hear my version and I go, God, I was so much better back then. Well, how did I do that? Like, wow. And then 5 years from now, it'll be some other thing, or just I'll listen to it and go, God, my playing was totally different. I was a different person 10 years ago. Yeah, and I know Paul, anyway, plays bass. So all of this is, throw it out the window on bass. It's not like, oh, yeah, I'll play whatever. It's like, well, no, you kind of got, you've got a narrower road to walk on the bass.
If I'm playing bass for you, you just got to tolerate me playing the wrong note. That's just...
There it is. Yeah. Reharmonizing things. Well, I got to tell you this. So I know I'm going to see a few of you next year in the Ukestruck Collective, and excited about that. And Virginia, be fun to meet your people. And welcome anybody else. If you want a chance to have like a very parts oriented thing, I think at first I'm not gonna over promise a whole bunch of stuff, but eventually I would like to get to the point of group recordings. I think would be really cool. But I want to give myself a realistic ramp of learning the technology necessary and the time necessary to do that. And I've talked to some people, they're like, oh yeah, we recorded the beginning of the semester, the song we did last semester, and then at the end of the semester I have it done. It's like a lot to it. But it could just be a cool way to learn music, because it'll be very eclectic, group of songs every time, probably a mix of folk, blues, jazz, classical, and maybe even some original music that could fall in anywhere in any of that. And it's great especially for fingerings, because I think we can learn like, oh, I'm uke one, I'm in the key of F, I'm probably going to be in the fifth position. These kinds of things. Or Celtic, tunes in D is going to be second position, and then it's going to go to the ninth position, that kind of stuff. That the first time is really hard. The second time is a little easier, but like the third or the fourth song that you learn this like that, you kind of get an idea of how that music works. And so just encourage you to check it out if you can. I like seeing you guys on Mondays, but I know I'll see you in December for sure, and I'll probably get those materials out a little bit early, and am wrapping it up with some chord oriented stuff that I'm hoping that you guys could put to good use, just in your own playing, in like a substitute chord kind of situation with a 1-6-2-5. All right, any other closing homilies, stories, jokes? Okay. Well, let's leave it there, and I will see you next month. Thank you so much.